really loved it. And then I also found out my mother goes to them alone and has read all the books. And she said she just can't get her like elderly lady friends to go with her. So she just gone like, I don't need to know that.
Hi, Kristin.
Hi.
First of all, I was in the elevator with you this morning and I had this really horrible fangirl moment. So I just want to thank you for being 6 inches away from me. But my question has to do with your character development as Pam over the last couple seasons has been such a powerful counterbalance to all of the action that's been going on and the kind of crescendo that they've been building on to the current season. And I'm not going to be the jerk that asks for spoilers. But is there anything that you're particularly excited about in terms of your character and where she's going in the new season, since we're kind of have a month to go to wait?
I know.
So is there anything that you're excited about that you got to do with the character of Pam in terms of the depth of her?
It's always so tricky. I'm moving into that time of year where I have to figure out how to say something, but I say nothing really, and nobody knows till later. You walk away and go, wait, what?
Cryptic messages, always good. Cryptic messages.
Right? Yeah. Cryptic messages. There were... There are some things I got to do this year that they were different, but really it was, you know, I love this. There were a couple of scenes where I'm talking to one other person. Like I really liked, there was a speech I gave to Nelson, to Lafayette. Maybe I smile too much, maybe I wear too much pink. But please remember I can rip your throat out if I need to. And that was such a great paragraph. And I got a couple of paragraphs this year. There's one paragraph in particular I'm remembering that I did this season that I really loved. And I'm so hoping that when I see it, I'm like, yes, I did it. Because I cannot tell. And then, I'm not saying that I kill anyone, but I realized at the end of season 5, we're like, wait, has Pam killed anyone? No, I hadn't, which I thought was a gross oversight. So, you know, things get pretty dire this year, and we get to see how tough Pam is.
I think it'll be wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm actually going to use that as our last question here, and you can have the last 4 minutes to talk about your personal projects.
Oh, okay. I feel terrible about the man who just walked up to the
I know,
mic and had to walk away. So I'm, you know, last hiatus, I went over to Africa for a month. I always cry when I talk about it. It was amazing. And I'm also crying because I'm terribly sleep deprived, so I can't control any of my emotions. Thank you. 30 minutes later, a pile of used napkins. You're wondering when I'll shut up. I really loved Africa. I went to Kenya because there's a mass killing going on of the elephants and the rhino. So in the last year, rhinos in the wild have gone extinct. There are none left. And this is all for this much of their massive bodies. So I went over to see what's happening and what can be done about it. And just to ask Kenyans, how can we help you? So I'm putting together a movie, which is an astoundingly long process, I'm finding, doing it the first time, to highlight the great things that these Kenyans are doing and, you know, how we could all be part of the solution. So that's been kind of all-consuming. And I was hoping to have it done by the time that we air, which I'm so not gonna get to do. Now what I'm hoping is that on the hiatus I can devote a lot more concentrated time to it. Getting 100 hours down to 2 is ridiculous. And I see why, the True Blood editing room, we shot episode 1 in January, and I think it was done like a month ago. So these things just take a long time. But that's been a huge passion project of mine. And there's so many animals in the world that need help, and people and children, it's kind of amazing. And, it's actually hard to look at, but I picked African elephants because my husband's from South Africa and his family's from Kenya. And it was a really, really great place. Great people. Oh my God. They're very, very different from us. They don't have, they just don't want things. So I wasn't, being from the West, that's sort of inconceivable to me. I'm not someone who actually wants a lot, I still live in the same house and drive the same car as before True Blood. I like my Subaru, it's great. And so I'm not the most of the Hollywood types, but the African, oh my God, they see so much joy in nothing. They are so happy. And it was really, really remarkable. You can't know that you're missing something that isn't there. It's impossible. Just, how would you know something wasn't in your life that was never there? You aren't gonna feel the loss. So when I went to Africa, I couldn't believe it, and I kept looking at these people thinking, I don't understand. Why are they so happy and so eloquent? And why am I so surprised that they're eloquent? And they would say things that were so wise, and I would think, I'm so surprised that this person with no shoes and tribal clothing is wise. And then I thought, why am I surprised? I think as Americans, we think we need to save Africa. I'm not so sure, to be honest. I think we can learn as much or more from them as they could receive aid from us. Because I came, and my husband being African, he's like, why are you guys always trying to save us? I just can't understand it. And I couldn't understand that he couldn't understand it. Clearly they need shoes. And he's like, clearly you people need to laugh more. So it was really fascinating. It was not at all what I expected to perceive and to see. And I hope to put that into a 90-minute format that's enjoyable to watch. So we'll see if I can manage it. Thank you so much, everybody.